What's up, people? Orseofkorse here, coming at you with another Genesis video. So the game's been out for about a week now, and I wanted to give my thoughts, the negatives and the positives of Genesis. A lot of people have been asking if the game is any good, if it's worth playing. Just to get it right off the bat, I think the game is worth playing. I mean, it's a free-to-play game. Give it a shot and check it out. But I will talk about some of the things that I like and what I dislike, and I'm going to start with the negatives first. So the first negative that I have is that there's no direction or like instructions for new players. The concept of a MOBA is new to a lot of people. It's not just that the game is new. A lot of people haven't even played a MOBA. Like there's a lot of people that haven't played Smite. There's a lot of people that didn't even play Paragon, right? And there's not a whole lot of other MOBAs on the console. So just throwing people in and being like, hey, make the meta. That doesn't really work if people don't even have a foundation. You have to give people some type of groundwork to start on, and then they can build from there. Because even if you give people a full tutorial about how to play your game, they're still going to create their own meta. But you got to give people something to grab onto in the first place. And this game failed to do that. I'm hoping that maybe in the future they'll add something, at least some type of like lane recommendation, anything, just so people have an idea of what to do. Because you look in the Discord, you look on the Facebook and the Twitter, there's a lot of people upset with other people because they're like, oh, these people are bad, they're not good, they're blah, 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 blah. And that's not really the fault of the people. You know what I mean? Like they didn't really have any direction. So they're just coming in here and they're learning just like anybody else. And that's going to take time when you don't have any direction. The second con that I have is with the character Mikazuki. She is still behind a paywall, and it's been a week now, right? Hopefully they're going to change it to where you can get her with the in-game currency at some point, because she's a very strong character. She's not weak by any means. And I feel like right now, I'm not going to say she's pay to win, but if you have a Mizuki on your team, you have a distinct advantage because she's a nasty character. So hopefully at some point they go ahead and fix that, and even possibly maybe refund the people who bought that character early on thinking that the only way you could get her was to buy her. I feel like, I don't know. I just don't like that concept. Hopefully they do something to rectify that, because I'm sure there's some people that purchased that character thinking that that was the only way that they could get them. And that makes me uneasy. But like I say, people can spend their money or whatever they want. Maybe a lot of people just wanted to buy her because they thought she was cool. But the idea of it just doesn't sit right with me. The next thing that I'll speak on is the targeting system in the game. The targeting system is a little bit wonky, and I think they need to find a better way to go about that. Because right now I feel like this push L down in order to swap between hero structure, creep and all that. I feel like it's too finicky, and too often I end up targeting creeps when I'm trying to target heroes, and it's just too easy to target off of people. And maybe it's something that's just muscle memory, and the more you play, the easier it gets. But I feel like there has to be an easier way to go about it in some which way or form. But either way, targeting definitely needs some type of rework or revamp, because right now it doesn't feel great. It's not the worst thing, but it definitely is a con for me. The last thing I'm going to touch on, because I don't want this video to be all negative, the teleport back, the callback to base. I don't like the fact that that has a 60-second cooldown. I understand that they don't want you teleporting to your ally towers and then teleporting back to base, but I don't feel like you should have to wait 60 seconds to go back to your base. I almost rather have it to where I can't teleport to ally bases, but I don't have a cooldown to teleport back to my main base, because that's just inconvenient. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's why I don't like it. It's super inconvenient, and I just don't understand the mechanic as a whole. Secondly, when you trigger your teleport, if you cancel it, like if you see like your buddy's about to get jumped on or something, so you're like, oh, I'm not going to go back yet, you're still on cooldown. The cooldown starts as soon as you begin to teleport back. It doesn't like stop because you didn't teleport, which I feel it should do. So that's something that I think they need to fix ASAP, because if you cancel the teleport, you didn't teleport, so it shouldn't count against you. Now let's look at some of the positives, because this game does have a lot of good stuff going forward. Now, starting with some of the pros, the first one is visually, the game is beautiful, and not just like the environment, but the environment is very nice. But the heroes themselves, like everything about this game visually is appealing. The heroes, and I'm saying this because I didn't play a lot of Dota or League. So for me, the heroes look unique in a way. It's something different. It's not like a Paragon clone, because that's the game that I refer back to. It doesn't remind me a whole lot of Smite besides the names. So it has its own look and feel. I know a lot of people are saying that it's just a Dota clone, it's a League clone, but for somebody who doesn't have that background, the game looks good to me. The next pro for me are the heroes kits themselves. While I do feel that the stuns are a little bit much right now, the kit and the diversity of the kits are nice. Nobody feels like a copy of anybody else. Everybody feels unique in their own right. And I really like that. In this game, I can play any jungler, I can play any caster, I can play any ADC and feel like I'm actually playing a different character. And it's not always like that in some games. So that is definitely a pro for me. Another pro for me are the items themselves. The items feel very good to me. They feel relatively balanced for the most part. Chrono Switch is a little bit broken depending on who you're using it on, but for the most part, all the items feel relatively balanced, even if not all the heroes may be balanced yet. But that is a pro for me. And also, I like the fact that they give different stats. There's no items that just kind of double up on each other, especially like those in-game items. They all do something unique and different, and you can actually build your champion to be a certain way. So you can build somebody super tanky, you can build somebody just pure attack or crit, or whatever the case may be. A lot of cards don't overlap and just, make one kind of copycat build, and some games do that, so it feels like you actually have unique builds that you can make for your different champions to make them stand out and really counter what the enemy team is building. The last pro that I will give is that this game is just simply fun. You know, obviously not when you get a team that has no idea what they're going, but like when you get a regular game, like when most people have an idea what's going on, the game itself is fun. And that right there is a big deal because you know that the bones are there, right? The structure is there. This game can be something really good. The developers just have to listen to what the community is saying and structure the game correctly to allow it to grow. And I think that this game can take off because I've played a few MOBAs, and this game doesn't feel like any of those for the most part. Like I said, a lot of people say it's a clone, but I feel like it has enough uniqueness to where it stands on its own. So those are my thoughts about the game so far. I just wanted to put something out there because it's been a week, and I feel like I've given it enough time to give my honest thoughts on it. Hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm bashing on the game because that's not the intention here. There's just a few things that I feel like need to be fixed, and I'm hoping that it does. Also, hopefully they fix their server issues. I didn't really put that as a con because the game is fairly new, and I know that that there's going to be issues early on. Maybe they have more people playing than they expected, but hopefully they get that underway and they find a way to make sure that their servers are actually up, because that seems to be a big complaint in the community. But it's not so much an issue for me because I understand that, it takes time and takes maintenance to keep something like this going. So people, if you found this video interesting at all, make sure to drop a like, subscribe for more Genesis content, and also I would like to hear what you think the pros and cons of this game are, the positives and the negatives, however you want to put it. Put it down in the comment section because I would be curious to know what the community thinks as well. I know a lot of people are loving the game. I know a lot of people have bailed on it already, so it'll be curious to see what people say. As always, people, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Peace, 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 peace.